Get up. It's a Moody morning. 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 Better get up on it. Hey, it's a Moody morning. Don't let your mornings be moody. Let them be moody.
Well, hello, boys and girls. It's me, Dr. Moody, and welcome back to our podcast, Moody Mornings, where we have exactly what you need for your moody mornings. Well, we're back today with episode number 6, and I'm gonna be ready to pack my bags and leave all of you. I'm just kidding. I have got something really exciting to share with you today. In just a couple of weeks, I'm going to be on a cruise ship, going to a surprise location. Pastor Steve said he had something very special for me. And speaking of Pastor Steve, I guess he's here too, or
Yes,
whatever.
Dr.
Anyways, this cruise I'm going on could take me literally anywhere. I could be going to Scotland to look at castles, or knights and kings of old, or maybe I will go see an old friend. What was his name again?
I believe it was
Oh,
Mr.
maybe I'll
Wallace.
find myself in Egypt exploring the Great Pyramids. You know there are 3 arks in the Bible that were never found. Maybe I might see if I can find one of them. Seeing how I would be in Egypt, maybe I can search for the Ark of Bulrushes that Moses' mom used to hide him in when he was in the Nile River. That would be one of the greatest archaeological finds in history.
I think that would be virtually impossible. I don't think that was meant to last forever, Dr. Moody.
Well, if I can't find the Ark, I'll find the bones of the alligator, the hippopotamus, or whatever creature ate that Ark. Well, maybe I'll even find myself in Switzerland. I would love to visit the museum of one of my inspirations to my life of science, Albert Einstein.
That would be awesome.
You
Doc.
know I met him once when I was a wee boy in grammar school. I had just solved my first Diophantine equation, and I'd caught his eye. Someone drew a painting of the moment when I met him. I shook his hand, and I still have that very amazing moment hanging in my office to remind me of the great motivation that he gave me and to always keep moving forward.
Dr. Moody, can I interject now, please?
If you must.
Dr. Moody, I know that you're really excited about this upcoming trip, but you're not being very kind to me at the moment. And I do have a question, though. What is that whatever, that equation thing that you were talking about?
Oh, that little thing. It's a little too complicated for someone in your profession. It takes at least a PhD to know how to do that, and I'm not even sure you know how to spell PhD. Well, to put it in your language, it's given the nickname of the sum of cubes. It's one of the hardest math equations to solve in the entire world.
Oh, okay, Dr. Moody, I guess, but you're still not being very kind. Do you know, Dr. Moody, that it's important for us to show kindness to one another? The Bible tells us that we are to be kind. In Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 32, it says, "And be ye kind one to another."
Oh, I'm so sorry, Pastor Steve. I was just very excited about my upcoming cruise. I do owe you an apology and even a thank you for sending me on this trip to begin with. I'm so sorry.
Oh, Dr. Moody, I accept your apology. Thank you. Well, let's talk about kindness for just a minute. The Bible also tells us, Dr. Moody, that when we show kindness, that we are showing love. It doesn't matter if we're excited, upset, or busy. We need to show kindness to one another. Dr. Moody, why don't you open up your Bible and read 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 through 8.
Okay. Love suffers long and is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not parade itself. It's not puffed up, does not behave rudely, does not seek its own, is not provoked, thinks no evil, does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in the truth, bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails. But whether there are prophecies, they will fail. Whether there are tongues, they will cease. Whether there is knowledge, it will vanish away. Oh, I'm sorry, Pastor Steve. I was being quite rude, and I was not showing you the love of God.
That's okay, Dr. Moody. And do you know that when we show kindness to one another, Dr. Moody, we are showing love? The Bible tells us that the love of God, it will never fail, and it will always be with us, Dr. Moody. And so when we show that kindness, we're showing that love, and that's what people see when we show kindness to them. They're seeing the love of God. And in the second half of our show today, Dr. Moody, we're going to be looking at a story in the Bible where a few individuals had an opportunity to show love and to be kind, but only one of them shows kindness. And because God's love never fails, Dr. Moody, we will always be able to sing of his love. We'll be able to sing of his love forever. Does that remind you of a song, Dr. Moody?
I think it might.
Yeah.
I think there was a song called, what was it called? I Could Sing of Your Love. Sometimes?
Forever. No,
forever. Yes.
Boys and girls, why don't we sing, I Can Sing of Your Love Forever.
Over the mountains and the sea, your river runs with love for me, and I will open up my heart and let the healer set me free. I'm happy to be in the truth, and I will daily lift my hands, for I will always sing when your love came down. Let's sing Over the Mountains. Over the mountains and the sea, your river runs with love for me, and I will open up my heart and let the healer set me free. I'm happy to be in the truth, and I will daily lift my hands, for I will always sing when your love came down. I could sing of your love forever. Yes, I can sing of your love forever. Yes, I can sing of your love forever. Yes, I can sing of your love forever. Oh, I feel like dancing. It's foolishness, I know. But when the world has seen the light, they will dance with joy like we're dancing now. So I can sing of your love forever. Yes, I can sing of your love forever. Yes, I can sing of your love forever. Yes, I can sing of your love forever. I can sing of your love forever. Yes, I can sing of your love forever. Yes, I can sing of your love forever. Yes, I can sing of your love forever.
Well, we're back, and today we have with us a very special guest, someone who showed kindness when he didn't have to. Please join me in welcoming the Good Samaritan. Well, the story of the Good Samaritan is told by Jesus and can be found in the Bible in Luke 10, 25 and 37. Can you tell us a little bit about what happened, Mr. Good Samaritan?
Yes. One day, I was on my way to Jericho, and I beheld a man laying on the street. As I saw him, I knew that there was something wrong with him, but I didn't know exactly what had happened to him. But I knew that I must help him. As I got near to him, I saw that he was bleeding and that he was wounded. So I quickly got him on my donkey, and I took him to the nearest inn that I will find. As I got there, he was very wounded. He was very badly beaten. So I took him inside the inn, and I helped him clean his wounds. I helped him bandage all the bad things that they had done to him. Finally, he told me, as he came conscious, he told me that man had really beaten him down as he was walking in the street. But he went on to say that there was two men that passed before I did. And these two men, one man was a priest and another was a Levite. And this made me sad because this priest and Levite, they knew of the law of God and they didn't help him. They didn't help this man that was wounded and was just laying on the streets. So I went ahead and I gave 2 of my denaries, the money that I had, I gave to this innkeeper, and I told him that I will be back and that if he could continue to help him, that if he can continue to take care of him, that I will be back and repay everything that he ever did for this man. As I left that day, I thought about this man the whole day and the whole night. And I remember that night, as I laid in my bed, I prayed for this man and I said, God, will you continue to heal this man? And I fell asleep. But at night, I had a dream, and an angel came to my dream and he told me, you did a great job today. You did a wonderful thing helping this man. And he went on to say that one day, God will use my story and the thing that I did in order to encourage others to help the same way that I did. And I can't wait for that day when God will use my story to encourage others. And that's exactly some of the things that I remember of what happened that day.
And that's all quite interesting. You did this for somebody you've never even seen before, right? Is that person a complete stranger?
He was a complete stranger. I never seen him. I never knew him. But I knew that this man was there laying on the streets. And there was compassion that came upon me as I saw this man laying there, nobody helping him, and in need of some help.
You know, Dr. Moody, that just reminds me of the scripture where Jesus says, the first commandment is to love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. And he says the second is just like it, to love your neighbor as yourself. And I believe that was part of the parable. And, Jesus asked, well, who is your neighbor? And you being a Samaritan and this guy being a Jew, how did you consider him to be your neighbor?
Growing up, I remember my parents always telling me of the law of God. The law of God stated that I should love God with all my soul, my heart, and my strength. And the same thing that I should love my neighbor as myself. And I think this is why I was able to help this man, because my parents always taught me about the love of God and what I should do whenever I encountered this situation.
Oh, absolutely. And we're very glad for the example that's been set before us. Well, thank you for joining us today on Moody Mornings. We hope that you learned a little more about kindness and showing love. Next time on Moody Mornings, we'll look at patience and the story of Job. Be sure to tune in, and don't forget to check us out online. Have your parents search for us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Just have them search for CCGS Kids. And don't forget to follow our podcast, Moody Mornings, so you don't miss out on any new episodes. We would love to see you in person as well. Find out more about Calvary Chapel Golden Springs by visiting our website, www.calvarygs.org. And remember, no matter what time of the day, you can always have a Moody morning. See you next time.